We're kicking off an effort what I'm calling NavalX, Naval Expeditions, right? Expedition is an arduous task where you got to bring technology and courage and all your MacGyver skills, all that together in one place. What this really is not as much of like a glitzy innovation store as much as a set of capabilities that anybody can access.
So the mission of NavalX is to facilitate a set of tools that will provide agility, both flexibility and speed to the Department of the Navy at the type of scale that we need in order to be a global competitor. We're going to do that by focusing on empowering the workforce at the lowest possible levels and trying to decentralize the authority and the tools that they need to innovate at the speed and scale that is required.
When I talk about agility, what I'm really focused on is the velocity of an organization and how fast can it seize opportunities as they present themselves, react to a new challenge that comes out, or leverage an idea and get it all the way through the system. And so as we think about agility at the scale of the Navy, it's a pretty challenging problem. We've got a lot of folks who are interested in innovation and pushing the envelope. What we really need to do now is tie all that network together. And so if you've got an idea in the Navy, you can find other folks who are thinking about the same thing and then get access to the tools to push that idea forward. If we can do that, then we've got an agile Navy.
When somebody comes up with a good idea, somewhere out in the fleet, anywhere across the Department of the Navy, when they fight to make it a reality, they find their way through regulation, through authority, through finding something that actually works, which can be a long process on each of those. When they finally get to a place where it does the thing they want it to do, they're probably not the only person with that problem, and nobody else should ever have to do that upfront work ever again to get there. If that person could teach everybody, if we could get the whole Department of the Navy in one room and have them ask, that looks really useful, how do I get that? And have them just explain it, that's way easier than having to do all that experimentation on the front end. NavalX is responsible for propagating, for sharing all of that understanding, which has arrived at a state of being proven, of being useful, to everybody who needs it as fast as humanly possible. Anybody in the Department of the Navy who is trying to do something and thinks that there might be a better way to do it, we're here for you.
Yeah, so as a young junior officer, I remember trying things that to me felt like I was taking great risk, and if I had had some tools or even social media back then to make connections with other supply officers at sea or supply officers on shore, I could have probably taken a few bigger risks that would have landed me some great success with my divisions. Those things that keep us from communicating sometimes keep us from succeeding.
I really consider it an empowering mission to empower not only innovators or people who want to make things better, but to empower the people that don't want to innovate. But how do we show them the easier way to do this? Because a lot of our force, they're already maxed out on their time, they're already maxed out on what they're doing. And if we can provide a better way to do it, it gives them a better product and takes less time, well, that would be the mission.
I think that NavalX is, and this might be self-serving, but I think it's needed. And I don't think it's something that we've really seen much of. I think we get a lot of top-down sort of here, go do this, and then it gets bogged down in our management levels. And I think something like this would be able to bring in the people from the fleet and the civilian side that are working on the same sort of problems and actually able to make those solutions a little easier, because we actually decided to say, hey, you guys in the fleet, what can we do on this product that you're going to have to end up using? How can we make that better for you? And I think NavalX will be able to not only digitally connect those people, but physically connect those people in the spaces like NavalX is trying to put together.